Hello there! Welcome to the Generational Gamer. You know, I have like a general guideline for what I want to say, but I may just flat out go right off the rails. So, you probably saw the thumbnail and wondered, what the fuck? What the heck is he doing? Yeah, I try to keep it PG. Well, you know what? Modern video games. Now, it's predominantly a retro channel, but I've been playing a lot of Stellar Blade lately. Modern games, as a whole, is a repugnant situation. Now, I despise modern gaming. I really do. I think the whole situation is absolutely disgusting, and I really don't want much, if anything, to do with it anymore. Yeah, I will play modern collections of retro games because I still think playing retro games with modern technology is the most ideal way to do it. However you see fit. Yeah, I mean, come on, you've got a new Mister that's potentially coming out that uses cartridges. Now, I mean, I've done that on this channel already, but they're actually producing a unofficial off-brand DE10 Nano style board to play Mister project related games, and it may very well have cartridge slots. That is freaking cool. But as far as modern gaming, absolutely disgusting. So, you either have the ugliest female characters one could possibly imagine, or the game's censored to hell and back. And at that point, I don't even want to be bothered with it. It's not all about massive boobs either. I did get on the free Stellar Blade bandwagon because I don't like things being censored. You've got that freak show of Last of Us 2, which leads me to another point, just real fast. I loved Uncharted 1, 2, and 3. Despised 4, forced myself to get through it, only to find out the reason I probably hated it was because what was her name? Amy Hennig, wasn't directing the fourth one, it was Neil Druckmann. And of course, he was responsible for The Last of Us 2. With whatever monstrosity Abby turned out to be. So that's what I expect from modern gaming. And it's nothing good. So when a game comes out and it's promised to be uncensored, they actually show a pretty female protagonist. So spoiler alert, if you don't want to see it, advance about 3 seconds. Now if you don't know the story, she's actually an android. So spoiler. When they actually promise to have a pretty female protagonist instead of the ugly monstrosities that we usually get, yeah, it'll pique my interest. It's not all about what people think. I don't like being lied to. Don't tell me that those original costumes weren't the final costume. If they weren't meant to be the final form, they wouldn't be on the disc. So yeah, it's great that we got alternatives. I'd still like to see the originals, but all things considered, this is probably the best we're gonna get with Sony at the helm. Now, that's modern gaming. Retro gaming, there's a ton of different ways to play that. And I have quite a few of them. I love the modern controllers. Retro Fighters does a phenomenal job with most of theirs. And I like 8-Bit Do and some of Retrobits. There's always a new way to do something with retro consoles. As for the games, I will always play it on modern hardware over retro hardware, if I can. You can't always do that. Certain things haven't evolved enough just yet. But, as for the transition, RC cars, nothing to do with gaming. Now, you may be wondering, how the hell do you go from generational gamer to generational RC gamer? Or what have you. I don't know. I don't have a name yet. You know what? Leave a comment below. Let me know if you think that, one, I should spin this off into its own channel, and number two, what the name should be. I have been in and out of RC cars as a hobby since I was in my early teens. Yeah, everybody has a toy RC car. I'm talking about the hobby grade stuff. So the reason I got back into the hobby was actually due to my son. Now, this is the second time he's kind of brought me into this hobby. The first time, he was a little guy. He barely formed complete sentences. He saw my old RC cars that I hadn't used in years, probably like 10 years, and he goes, "Daddy, make cars move." And I went, ugh. All right, let's go outside. He had one of his little push trucks. I had whatever I was riding at the time. I don't remember. I think it was an RC10 T4. And by that point, it was very old. One day led into 2 days, 2 days, 3, and before we knew it, we were going every day. And I had a lot of fun with it. Who knew? Anyway, I realized if I break this thing, I'm not going to be able to get parts for it. See, that's one of the problems. Over time, the older models get phased out, and then it's a struggle to get parts. Anyway, I ended up buying several after that. I started with the cheap ones, not the one I really wanted, but I figured it was good enough. Never go with that model. You'll always end up wanting another one. Anyway, I finally got the one I wanted. A neighbor saw it, asked me if I wanted to buy one from him. I got a ridiculously good deal and gave that one to the boy. He was playing with it. He had a grand old time. And I can't remember if it was before or after that one that I got him his mini slash. So I had a full 4x4 slash, and he had his mini 4x4 slash. And the two of us would go outside, we'd run it in our parking area, and we had a grand old time with it. That led into actual racing. Now, I will never proclaim to be a great racer. I did all right. And if enough people crashed, I could win that race. Even if I was the cause of the crash. I never did it on purpose. It just happened organically. They go, why can't you control your damn car? Because I'm old and I'm new at this and they move really damn fast. Anyway, so I will never proclaim to be a great racer, but my son enjoyed it. I took him racing. He ended up getting a racer as well. So the two of us had these very nice, expensive RC cars that we would race every single week. Then my father sees it, and he joins, and we had 3 generations of racers at this track. Now, I don't know if you've seen the video that I posted back in August, but my father passed last year, and I have his truck now. I don't use it. My son did take the parts out. I mean, he's a teenager now, so he can easily maneuver these things on his own. But he hadn't used his RC cars in some time. The track we used to go to, and realistically, when my father was in his decline, I had no desire to go to that track. And I got out of it then because he couldn't get there. He got out of it. And I say he, I mean my son and my father. But once my father had to go into the nursing home, I was done at that point. It wasn't until recently my son picked up, I don't remember which one of his many trucks he used, because we each have quite a few. And he was out there, and he's been out there every single day. He has not touched his Xbox Series X. And we each have one. He is not, realistically, I haven't touched my Xbox Series X either because I've been playing the PlayStation and the Switch at some other level. He was outside, and he would ask me to go out with him. You know, you never miss a chance to spend time with your kid, especially in their teenage years. You never know when they're going to be too old for you to hang out with them. So I did, and I would do it, and he would break something with his car. He'd come inside, and he'd say, what's going on with the truck? I would get up, I'd show him how to fix it. Or I'd recognize whatever the noise was, and I'd tell him or his friends what to do to fix their car. I'd go back down and call it a day. Anyway, he decided to save up for this new one. Now, I have an unboxing of mine, but he saved up for this new one. It's an Arma Creighton. And it's a basher. Basher is the term used for RC cars where you're not racing, you're just going outside jumping over shit. It's a lot of fun, but yes, you can break your car. And in fact, the Creighton that he got, I accidentally broke it today when my Creighton that I did the unboxing for, which may or may not already be on YouTube or Rumble, I don't know how I misjudged where he was, but I hit him head on. My truck did a leap, a couple flips in the air, did land on its wheels, and I was able to drive it back. Mine has minor damage. His, I bent a shock shaft, and those friggin' things are big. Not a full pinky's worth, but they're big. Anyway, I'm about to go look for parts so I can replace it because since I broke his car, I told him I would absolutely take care of it. Plus, now I have to fix mine. But these things are freaking massive. They are considered 1/10 scale, which is maybe about that big. But these are considerably larger, and they weigh quite a bit. You do not want to get hit with one. But yeah, these things, they go about 50 miles an hour, and I was full speed, and boom! It was almost like an old-fashioned math problem. If Creighton A is going towards Creighton B at 50 miles an hour, how soon will they crash? Well, I don't know what the answer is, but they did. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there, but this is the direction I think, at least for a little bit, I'm going to take the channel. I'm still going to play retro games. I'm still going to talk about cool things related to modern tech for retro games, but I'm absolutely going to bring in RC cars. And if you have any other questions, comments, concerns, let me know in the comments below, and have a good one.
I'm trying to be sensitive. If you need help, after all, we do have engineering support.